Guys, these are businesses. Chanel is not a charity, it's a business. They are going to have a price rise. And like, they're allowed to do that. Hey everyone, my name's Connor and welcome to my channel, The Closet. If it's your first time here, on my channel I like to talk about anything within the luxury world, whether it be bag reviews, my likes and dislikes, thoughts and opinions, anything, I will tackle it on. So if that is something you're interested in, I would love it if you could subscribe and turn on the bell button to my channel so you're notified every time I post new content. And if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today's video. Now, this has been something that has bugged me for a while. And in my very first video I ever posted on YouTube over a year ago now, I briefly touched on it, but today I'm going to be talking about the Chanel price rise, but more overall just price rises with the luxury houses or just the luxury world in general, and why you just need to get over it. Now, I know that this video is going to be controversial and I know that the majority of people probably won't agree with a lot of the things I have to say in this video, but before I get into it, I just want to say that I am somebody who cannot afford to walk into a boutique and drop $10,000 on a bag. I am somebody who cannot go into Hermes and build up this high profile, buying all of these items to then hopefully be offered a bag. I'm somebody who can't do that. I am not someone who earns that much money. I can't be frivolous with my money because I have to be financially responsible to make sure that I've got money for my future, that I have money for unexpected costs. And to be honest, I just don't earn an exorbitant amount of money and I can't be doing those things. So I am the majority of people, and when I talk about how I feel about price rises, I'm not somebody who's sitting up on their high chair looking down and saying, if you can't afford it, well, like, too bad, too sad. I am right down there waving up at those people like, hi, I can't afford it, like, you know, omission. So that is the perspective I'm coming from. So I don't want it to come across like I'm just like, oh, you can't afford it. No, like, I can't. So it is that time of year again where Chanel have had their annual price increase, and I don't want to get into the specifics of things because I honestly don't know dollar amounts and the exact percentages and that, but it is, I think roughly it's maybe a 10 to 15% price rise on their classic bags and some other items. Every time this happens, the internet, the purse forums, the Facebook groups, everybody is just outraged, everybody is upset, everybody think, how can Chanel do this? Why are they doing this to us? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, this happens every single year. It's not just Chanel, it is Hermes, it is Louis Vuitton, and I just add that Louis Vuitton, I think last year or the year before, they had like 3 price increases in a year, and every time it happened, the same uproar happened. Guys, these are businesses. Chanel is not a charity, it's a business. They are going to have a price rise. And like, they're allowed to do that. And it is no shock that Chanel has a price increase. It's a luxury brand. They're not a charity. They are a luxury fashion house. It's not like Coles or a food or Aldi or wherever is increasing the price of milk by like 60%, because that would be an uproar because they're essentials. We're talking about luxury goods. Like, they are a luxury good. So like, that always blows my mind when people have this uproar like they're cutting off the town's water supply. Like, you know, it's a Chanel handbag and it's gone from $10,000 to $10,800. So like, I feel like I'm the only one who has that, you know, and it's like, wow, it just baffles me. The next thing that trends when Chanel are having a price increase and the keyboards start burning up and everyone's talking online is, how am I ever going to be able to afford a Chanel handbag now? And, you know, I've saved and saved and saved and saved and I've finally gotten to the price of a Chanel handbag, and then they've had a price increase. Well, first of all, if you are saving, say we're talking about a $10,000 Chanel handbag, like a classic flap or whatever. Say you've just saved up enough to purchase a $10,000 handbag, and then all of a sudden it's a price increase has happened and it's gone up to $10,800. I'm sorry, but like, if you can't afford the extra $800, you probably shouldn't be buying luxury bags. And I honestly do not mean that in a, like, I'm looking down upon you way, because if I was, like me personally, if I was just getting up to save $10,000 to buy a handbag and then there was an increase, I really shouldn't be buying that handbag if I can't afford that extra, 10%. Like, so I don't really get that opinion where people are like, oh, they keep changing the goalposts. And secondly, like, it's not a secret that they have a price increase. Like, we all know they have a price increase. So it'd be like playing Monopoly and you've been playing it for a few rounds and then you land on the, go to jail free thing and you've got to, or not go to jail free, like the go to jail, and you've got to pay that money to get out. And you're like, whoa, like, I didn't know that rule. Like, you've seen other people do it. Like, so it can't be a shock to you. And we're in the luxury, like, we're talking about shopping within the luxury world. Like, I don't get that thought process of how it can be such an uproar when we know Chanel have price increases, we know Louis Vuitton have price increases, we know Hermes have price increases, but like, they're allowed to. They're a business. They're allowed to. And, I guess, yes, you could argue that the amount that they're increasing is high. Okay, it's Chanel. It's not the Salvation Army. Like, of course, it's going to be, on brand with their brand. Like, they're not going to increase it by 0.5%. So I just don't get the shock. I don't get the confusion, and I don't get how Chanel should be ashamed of themselves for raising their prices. I honestly don't. The next the point that I want to make is that people who buy luxury bags, they refer to them as, oh, it's an investment. I bought this bag. I'm investing in my collection and, blah, 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 blah. 100%. If you want to buy a designer bag and you want to call it an investment, that is great. But do you know what makes investments investments? The fact that they go up in price. So you can't have it both ways. If you want to collect bags and call them investments and say, oh, well, in 3 years' time, I'll be able to sell this for X amount and I only paid this amount, 100% you can do that. But that is contingent on the price, like the retail price going up every year. So if you already own a lot of Chanel bags or some Chanel bags or Hermes bags, you want to pray that there are price increases, because it's going to justify your point of purchasing them as an investment. So, you want the price increase to happen to an extent, because it's, it's upping your value of your bags. You're earning that equity. So I think you need to have a very well-rounded view when you think about these price increases, because at the end of the day, unless it's your first bag or whatever, it's doing you a favor. Like, it's helping you. Another point that I always see in these price increase videos too is, and I know a few years ago, Jerusha Couture did a big video on this, and I know that Caitlin Pulowski referenced this in her video, and it's, Chanel don't care about us people, commoners, about when they bring out a price increase, because we're not Chanel's ideal client. And I really don't like that, because if you have money and you're walking into a boutique and you want to buy an item, you're Chanel's client, you're their customer. When people justify it like, oh, well, we're not Chanel's ideal client, and unless you're spending all this money on ready to wear, blah, blah, who cares? Like, if you can go in there and purchase a bag, you're Chanel's ideal client. I mean, we went through a major global pandemic last year, and nobody was out shopping. And sorry, we're still in a global pandemic, but there was a period when every country in the world was on lockdown, and these boutiques had no foot traffic. They were relying on the everyday person buying a $600 card holder, all the little nitty gritty bits that us people could afford. Trust me, they were saying, yeah, you can pay over the phone, you can do this, you can do that, oh, we'll send it out to you free of charge, no worries. Those boutiques were bending over backwards. So we are Chanel's ideal client. People who, whether you're buying a $10,000 handbag, you're buying a $600 card holder, you're buying a $1,000 pair of earrings, you are Chanel's client. And regardless of how much you spend, trust me, they want your business. But they're not increasing the prices of their items to get back at the rich. They're not doing it so they're like, oh, well, the rich can afford it, and anyone else who can't afford it, they're not our client. They're a luxury brand. It is within it is within like the whole luxury world to be elusive and to have high prices. It's on brand with the brand. Like that is the rules of the game. That's how it is. So if you don't like the rules, don't play the game. If you don't want to keep up with, you know, Chanel, or you don't want to keep up with Hermes, that is fine. You don't need to do that. But they're the rules of the game. So don't act shocked when they do it. They're not bad for raising their prices. They're a business, they're not a charity. So they're gonna rise the prices, and like they're allowed to do that. And if you don't like that, shop pre-loved. Thanks so much for watching my video, guys. I hope that I get my point across without being like, you know, out of touch. Like I really hope that it lands, and I just want people to realize that this is what happens every year, and it shouldn't be this big outroar that Chanel have a price increase or whatever. Like, it's just how it is. But let me know what you think. Pop your views and opinions down in the comments bar. And like always, you can reach out to me on my Instagram account, The Closet by Connor. But thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you next time.